All right, so today we're taking a look at V-ups, and we're fortunate enough to have Maria here who's going to demonstrate for us. So before we get into the technical aspects of what the V-up is, why don't we take a look at it visually to see what we're talking about. Maria's going to start from a laying on the floor position, and we're going to look at a few repetitions. And we'll stop it there. All right. So there we have a V-up. Now, here's why it's called a V-up, by the way. Right? It looks kind of like the letter V. Put your arms straight up overhead. There we go. So there's your V shape, all right? And the idea is, of course, you're coming together on the exercise. Bend your knees. Okay, so let's hold this position. So there's a V-up. Now, really what's going on here is we have the lower body equally as well as the upper body coming together through the movement. The trick here is to try to find the equality in both upper and lower body moving together. Otherwise, you're going to start, when you're not used to this, your nervous system will get a little messed up. And so typically, you may see stuff like this happen. Lift your legs first. Lift right up, and then your upper body. You know, completely off. You know, one part's moving first, and then the other part's moving after. One part's moving first, and then the other part moves after. Sometimes it messes with your hearing too. Stuff happens. Okay. Or it might be the upper body coming up first, and then this trying to come up after. We're trying to find a balance, kind of like a seesaw, whereby you're finding balance here through the hip so that both are raising at pretty much the same rate, so that you have pretty nice balance, so that at the top we see clearly a V shape. Beautiful. All right. So when you're first starting out, that's a full-blown V sit-up. When you're first starting out, you may find this somewhat difficult, not surprisingly. So why don't we take a look then at what, let's work backwards. You just saw the full-blown version. We're going to take a look at an intermediate version of a V-up. An intermediate version of the V-up is going to have her knees coming right up like that, beautiful. And you'll notice the bend, but what we're going to still look for is the same kind of synchronicity with the upper body as well as the lower body. So she's going to be bending her legs quite a bit. And that gives nice stability, but we can still see remnants of a V shape in this movement. Good balance on her pelvis. Yeah, very nice. So we'll stop there. Okay, so that'll be your intermediate version of a V-up. Now let's look at a beginner's version of a V-up. So if you could merge, just lie down. And we're going to put your legs down straight. She's going to put her hands right here by her side because she's going to use her hands to push down into the floor as she raises just her legs. And back down to the floor. Good. So each time the legs come up, she's actually pressing her hands into the floor. Very good. Awesome. And clearly we do not see the V shape here. So while she's pressing her hands into the floor, she's going to raise her upper body just a little bit, really not much. But we're going to put the focus here on the legs. So the legs are going to come up, upper body, and then go back down. So press your hands into the floor, little raise, beautiful. Good, we'll do one more time. You're coming up too aggressive with your upper body. We're going to focus on the legs. Yeah, so when I say we're going to focus on the legs, what I want you doing at home is actually focusing on the legs. All right, let's try that again. So legs will come up. There'll be a little push of the upper body, really not much though. We're barely coming up. It's almost like you're just looking at your belly button. Not much more than that. Good. Beautiful, there's hope. All right, so there we have, that's going to be the beginner's version of a V-up. And then you've got the intermediate, and then of course you've got the full-blown advanced version, which Maria is so anxious to show you one more time. Looking for balance, making sure we've got a center of balance, and it's really bringing upper and lower body together. It's that simple, pretty straightforward. There you have it. That's your V-up.